Hey viewers, I hope you can bear with me. I changed something on my webcam evidently. It's darker in the same room, same lighting. I don't know what I did. Probably something stupid, but I'll fix it later. Whatever, I'm gonna make this video. I got on YouTube and saw in the whole channels you may like thing, TheShoeWhisperer. I had never seen or heard of any of her videos, and I was, I figured see what was going on there. And so far they seem pretty awesome. I've only seen like 4 or 5, so I don't really know how you practice or what you do so far, but I did want to stop and make a video response to coping with empathy. I consider myself an empath. I know it a lot of people do, like you said, and it's kind of hard to tell whether they're actual empaths or it's more of a sympathy kind of thing, but I really think I do, and I just wanted to make a little bit of a video for that. I do think that empathy comes in levels. I think that it goes from, oh my gosh, I felt everything everyone's feeling ever, oh my god, to all the way down to where you can't really tell if it's empathy or sympathy. And in my case, it kind of varies. Ever since I was young, I've had a lot of like empathetic, I guess, characteristics, like things that you're like, maybe that kid's an empath. But it's gotten a little bit stronger as I've gotten older, and I don't know, I've just had a lot of different episodes with it. I'm going to tell you a couple of episodes so that you can see, not just you, but everyone who watches the video can see like why I think I'm an empath and different things that that I consider would be make me an empath and not just someone who is sympathetic. There's like the basic things that I kind of realized in high school before I knew anything about paganism. Well, knew of paganism as an actual path, or anything about. I don't want to say anything about witchcraft, because ever since I was little, I used to play that I was a witch kind of thing. It's a whole different video, but as far as knowing that people actually practice it and take it seriously, before any of that, I knew anything about New Age in popular culture, New Age. But anyway, just when I was a little high school kid, I don't want to say most, but a lot of my relationships would only last a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, because I would think I was totally really like this person and I wanted to have a cool little high school relationship with them, and we would have so much fun for a week or two, and then I would spend a couple days like up at my nana's or hanging out with different friends and away from them for a couple days to where it was just me, and I would be like, I don't know if I like that person anymore. Like, not, oh, I hate them, but just, that's funny, I don't have those feelings anymore. And so I would just be like, I'm sorry, for some reason I don't like you anymore, and we'd break up. So like the more that happened, the more I thought maybe I just like them because they like me. And where that and it's kind of gone in stages. It got stronger when I started college for some reason. It's kind of like age, and it seems like every time I grow a little bit in it, like get stronger in it, I shut it out. So you said you don't think you can shut it off, and I completely disagree with that. Respectfully, of course, but I mean, I've done it several times, to the point where I don't even have sympathy because I don't realize someone would have to be almost in tears before I realized they were sad because I shielded myself from it that strongly. But anyway, I'm rambling. Probably the best example I have for why I think I'm an empath, or why I know I'm an empath and not just someone who's sympathetic, when I first actually, when I began researching different religions and found paganism and found stuff about New Age and all that, and energy manipulation and all these things that I'd been feeling all along, it was kind of like I opened up, if that makes any sense. Like I just awakened to this whole new level of understanding. So just all of a sudden I was extremely empathetic, and at first I really thought I was going crazy. I am not an emotional person, like I'm really not. I don't get sad very easily. I'm usually pretty happy, or I have times where I'm just really meh, I don't care, or sometimes I have streaks where I'm mad at everything. I mean, I usually kind of pick one emotion and go with it for a little bit. I don't know why. Usually I'm pretty happy. But I was, just catapulted into this whole new level of knowing things, not only things that I'd been thinking all along and believing all along, but things that when I read it, it wasn't so much that I knew it, but it was like, I don't know, maybe it was knowing it from a past life, maybe it was knowing it from deep within. I mean, however you want to look at it, it was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I felt like I already knew it, even though before I couldn't have told you anything about the subject, if that makes sense. But so I would just be sitting in my dorm room. I'd be on my computer looking up stuff, not of a sad nature, just, either YouTube videos or different kind of things on religions and stuff like that, because that's what I was studying for like a month solid. And I would just get really, really sad. Like, for some reason, it just felt like my whole world had just collapsed on me. Like, everything I loved had just disappeared. The world had turned its back on me. And there were 2 episodes where I just started crying uncontrollably. Like, this would happen anytime. Like, I would be sitting in my dorm room, totally happy, totally fine, or just totally bored, not really doing anything. And then 2 or 3 times that happened. I mean, it happened for like 4 or 5 times, but then I think it was twice that I just broke down crying, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I would just be like, I have to leave this room, and I would go out to get food, or I would just go visit another friend. I would get out of the dorm room, I would get out of the whole building, walk around, go around the park. I mean, didn't matter what it did, as long as I got out of that dorm room, I was totally cool. And the farther away I got from my room, I was good. And then one day, it was probably like, this probably went on for about a week, on and off. But we had like a common bathroom that we shared. It was like, a public restroom where it has like 4 or 5 stalls, and then it has the showers on the other end, in this dorm room. So I went in there, and I went to the bathroom and washed my hands, and I hear this girl start like just sobbing in the shower, and I'm like, what in the world? And I'm thinking, should I go check on her, or should I leave her alone? Because I don't even know, she might not even know I'm here. She might be embarrassed, and before I have time to make up my mind, this girl comes in and walks around, and she goes, oh my gosh, Ashley. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's her friend, good, I feel better. And she goes, what's wrong? And then she starts telling her about everything that had happened, and her fiance of like 2 years had just called her up. They went to different colleges, evidently, but he had called her up and told her that he had fallen in love with someone else, and he just broke up with her, and now he hadn't even talked to her like the whole week. And this had happened, I think it was on a Sunday, I don't remember, it's been like 2 years now. But it had happened the same day that I just had that random so sad moment, like the same exact day, like it had happened. So and she lived in the dorm room right next to mine, so she was literally 10 feet away from me, and when all this was happening. So I mean, it totally made sense. I was sad for no reason. I was literally picking up on her energy, having absolutely no idea who this girl was, why she was sad, what she was sad about, and that's what it felt like. Just felt like, the whole world had turned, I'd been stabbed in the back, the whole world turns back on me. I was just, utterly alone. That's what it felt like. So I was happy that I wasn't actually going crazy, but I was also like, first of all, totally sad for that girl, and second, like, how did that happen? Oh my gosh, that is insane. And it really is something that's very taxing. It's very stressful, because you don't really know how to handle it when it first happens to you. I mean, I really didn't know it was someone else's religion feelings. It felt just like it was coming from me, and that's why it was so scary, because I was like, I'm not sad. Why am I sad? I have no reason to be upset. And there I was, almost bawling my eyes out. So it is something that that definitely goes beyond sympathy. It's definitely a whole different level. But I do think you can close it out, because like I said, it would get really bad where I would do stuff like that all the time. I when I'm at like a heightened state like that, I can't go. I can't really go out in public. If I go if I go to a restaurant or party or something like that, it's usually pretty cool because everyone has high energy and everyone's pretty happy. So I just feed off of that, and I'm just a total ball of energy. But if I go somewhere that there isn't really a set mood, like if I go to the cafeteria at the school, if I would go there, I would get usually pretty melancholy, like because people in there are usually stressed out. They're probably studying. There's a lot of drama goes on, in that age group anyway. So I mean, there's all kinds of different emotions, and I would pick up on them, and they would kind of like overload my brain. So I didn't like going out in public in places like that unless it was something that where you were expected to be happy, if that makes sense. And even then, sometimes it's like, oh, so much, and you feel kind of crazy. Let's see. But yeah, so I have successfully shut it out, and then I've yet to find a good balance because it seems like I'm either completely and totally turned, I'm on, and I'm like, oh my god, going 100 miles an hour trying to figure out what I'm feeling and what is everyone else, and then on the other hand, I can't feel anything, and I'm just heartless, it seems like, because I literally do not realize that you are sad or you are mad, and I feel it's like I'm being completely insensitive because I am oblivious. I'm just little, don't know what's going on, Samantha, which is kind of usual for me on a different level, being oblivious. I'm kidding. But yeah, so I've rambled, but that is my little blip on empathy. If you want to make another video response, or if anyone else has anything to say about this, feel free. But that's my experiences with it. That's why I think I'm an empath. That's why I know for sure you can block it out. And I agree it can be very stressful. I don't see it as a curse or a gift either. I agree with you on that. It's just kind of something. Actually, I think it's pretty awesome in a way. It is something that's hard to handle. I always think of, like, when I think of myself being stressed out, and I almost wish I didn't have empathy, or I wasn't an empath like I am. I just think of Spider-Man's dad or uncle or whatever going, with great power comes great responsibility. Like, I always think of that person. It's so funny. Because I'm a nerd, that's why. Okay. I think that's it. I'll stop rambling. Blessed be.